Alright, let's review the Evercade and the Namco Museum Volume 1 collection, because I recently got this and I'm very into new handhelds, and this is certainly a new handheld. The whole deal with this, if you're not aware, is it is a completely licensed system, so all the software on it is actually going back to the license holders, which is fine, I guess, if you want to support physical media and license holders. But yeah, you're not really supporting developers or anything like that by buying this stuff. These are really, really old games and now owned by lots of different license holders, and that's what you're paying for. So let's look at the system. So let's get this thing out of here. You get a box within the box. Open it up. Quick start guide. We don't care about that. Here's the Evercade itself. Now, this is a very, very lovely handheld. I really like the style of it. It's very comfortable in the hands. It's got a bit of heft to it, so it feels substantial. It feels like it's, you know, very well made. And I do like the aesthetic style they've gone for with this white and red accented thing. I also really like the buttons. They have like A, B, X, Y sort of sunken into it, and it's like a clear acrylic piece of plastic. And they feel good. The shoulder buttons are like little micro swishy clicky things, and they feel very nice as well. The only thing I'd say about those is that I do accidentally hit them quite a lot. Because that's just where your hands place, right? But it's not a big problem, to be honest with you, and they only come into action with games that actually use them. So things like SNES games in particular will obviously use those because the SNES controller had triggers. You've got to start and select, and you've got a menu button, which obviously brings up the menu in-game and brings you back to the main menu for the game selection. D-pad is great. It's a really, really good D-pad. I wouldn't slight it at all. I've heard some people say that it's not very good. I really like it. It's got good, definite action. It feels nice to use. It's very comfortable. I can't complain. On and off switch. Charging. No, that's not the charger. That's the mini HDMI, so you can output directly to a television. Some people were complaining that there's sound issues when you output to a television, but those have now been corrected with a patch that you can download from the Evercade website. There is also an extra patch to help map the buttons better for the different games, so that they're a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more like you'd expect with the controllers for those systems. So again, worth downloading. There's your charging port. There's a headphone jack, and here is the volume selection, which you've got stereo volume sound out of these two speaker grills at the front here. So yeah, it's a lovely thing. Let's turn the damn thing on. I've got obviously Namco Museum Volume 1, which came with the system. I will quickly show you the lovely little cartridge cases that come with it. Little clamshells, really nice thing, tells you what's on the game. And you also get dun, 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 a full colour manual, which tells you a little bit about each game and how to play it. Nice stuff. Okay, let's turn her on. So yeah, this is distributed in the UK by Blaze Entertainment. So you get that little boot up screen, and then we go directly into the game selection. Here we are. So on this collection we've got Battle Cars, which is a SNES Mode 7 racer. Dig Dug, which is the NES version and a pretty damn good port. Galaxian, also the NES version. Libble Rabble, never played it before, so I couldn't give you a good idea of what that is. Mappy, NES. Mappy Kids, NES. Metal Marines, I'm assuming it's a SNES game because I've never heard of it on the Mega Drive. But yeah, 16-bit strategy game, so obviously I've never played it because I'm not a strategy guy. Pac-Man, it's the NES version. Quad Challenge, also known as Mega Tracks. This is a Mega Drive racer. It's alright, but you're always forced into a split screen, regardless of whether or not you're playing single player or two player. So yeah, not great. Star Luster, NES, 8-bit Space Simulator. I haven't played this. It doesn't seem like it's going to be my sort of thing, but if you like your wing commanders and, you know, Star Wars TIE Fighter and things like that, I'm sure it's going to give you a nice bit of that, but, you know, just retro 8-bit version, essentially. Xevious, NES version. Been playing this a lot. Very, very good. Nice little vertical scrolling shmup. And that's all you have on this one. yeah, I will jump into Xevious quickly. So you press A to jump into the games, and they instantly boot up. Really, really good stuff. Now, while I'm in here, I just want to show you something that I found very odd with Xevious. So you have quite a lot of save state slots, in fact, for each game. Every time I try and use state slot 1, it doesn't save for some reason. So I will give you an example of that. Save. Right, now I'm going to turn the system off, turn it back on, and we'll jump back into Xevious, and I'll show you exactly what's happening with that save state slot 1, because yeah, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to remember that I've saved that state slot. It's very strange. So here we go. Let's pick up the menu and load, and it's not working. But because I've saved something in slot 2, as you can see, the high score just changed. Yeah, it is saving to that slot. It's the only game I've found it to do that with, to be honest with you. Everything else has a perfect, you know, set up with slot 1. Pretty sure I've got a game saved on here. There you go, straight in. So yeah, it controls really nice. It feels very robust. The yeah, software selection is a little bit more interesting and diverse, and features a mixture of SNES and NES titles and a Mega Drive game. And I think it's interesting that they've gone for the console versions, because Namco Museum games normally emulate or try and emulate the arcade versions of the game, and it's nice to just see a little bit more of Namco's portfolio. Their console games are really good, and these are some solid ports and well worth playing. It's a shame, obviously, we don't have the arcade versions, but considering how many Namco Museum games I own already, I'm quite happy to see something a little bit more different from the publisher, to be honest with you, and play some games that I haven't really experienced for the first time, and play them on a really, really nice handheld. Some other things I might mention about the menu: you do have some screen settings. You can have the original 4x3, or you can have full screen, which obviously puts it in horribly stretched and distorted widescreen that fills the entire screen. Yeah, not into that at all. That's really horrible. Don't do that ever. Always original size. Yeah. So you've got save and load. That's the only other settings, and then you can quit out to the main menu. And that's it, really. Every single game on the system looks like this. On the, you know, the menus, they all look the same. They just basically give you a different selection of games. There is another volume of Namco Museum, which I am very much looking forward to getting, because I would like to try it, and there's some more games on there which I'm very interested in. This is a really, really good way to play Namco games on a handheld. I can't really fault it, to be honest with you. I just think that the software selection is a little bit strange, but at the moment I'm not too fussed about that, because I really like me some Namco, and this gives me a way to play some really weird Namco games that I haven't really experienced for the first time. And they're all console versions, which I'm not as familiar with, because I never had a NES. What with this being a Namco channel and us primarily focusing on Pac-Man, we should probably play some Pac-Man. So yeah, it's the NES version, as you'd expect. As you can see, the title screens have all been changed so that the copyright date is actually Bandai Namco as of 2020. So yeah, these aren't just direct ports. There has been some alterations to them, but they do play pretty much identically to their original NES or SNES or Mega Drive counterparts, just with new copyright notices on the front. So yeah, it's good. It's Pac-Man. It's the NES version of Pac-Man. It's a pretty good port. Don't know what else to say, really. The Evercade is a nice little system. I think at the moment the software is a little bit flawed. I think it's very hit and miss. But once something, you know, robust comes out on it, I think it will be well worth owning, to be honest with you. A really good game would really set this thing off. Because, yeah, it's a lovely premium feeling handheld with a lovely screen, lovely controls. It just needs the software at the moment. And yeah, at the moment, there are some collections that have some stuff that very much interest me, especially the Namco stuff. But I think they're very hit and miss. So yeah, more robust software, and this would be an absolute must own. But at the moment, I'd say wait it out, unless there's something very in particular that you really want to play on a handheld and actually pay a distributor for. Cool stuff.